Man, bad news. Devin Haney is still suspended by the New York State Athletic Commission indefinitely. But wait, there's more. Ryan Garcia is suspended by the New York State Athletic Commission indefinitely, or at least till April of next year, right? Which got me to thinking, I'm Boxing Ego. The world needs ego thoughts. So I told you guys on the channel, I was taking it back to the basics. Some of the things I used to do when I first started. Ego thoughts is one of them, where it doesn't have to be this like major fight coming up or whatever. Just things that I want to talk about. So here we are, and here we go. I was just thinking about it. Haney Garcia, like I've been saying before the fight, during the fight, and now after, was a complete show. And it's really a fight that did not need to happen. Hear me out. This fight took place April 20th, and both careers, Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, are still facing the residual effects of this. So they both got smoked out. Yeah, it was 420. They both got smoked out. They both got smoked for different reasons. So just think about what I'm saying. Apply what I'm saying to you and just take the context and see if it makes sense to you. So I'm thinking about it, and both fighters are suspended months after the fight for different reasons, very different reasons, and I'll briefly go over that. So Ryan Garcia, he tested positive for a banned substance called ostarine. So therefore, he has a punishment from the commission, fines, and he can't compete until about April 2025. So Ryan Garcia, pack him up, get him out of here. He can't, he's suspended. So that's why he's suspended. Now, on the other hand, you have the person he fought, which is Devin Haney. Devin Haney is suspended for a much darker and much different reason. Devin Haney is suspended because he took a beating. So if you go to BoxRec, you will see this. I'm showing you in the video. He got suspended because he got beat down. So when a fighter takes that much punishment, they are usually suspended for a period of time. Now, I can't confirm this like in terms of the date, but to my understanding, how this works is this. Devin Haney will remain suspended indefinitely based on the punishment he took versus Ryan Garcia until he goes through the proper protocol, probably doctor's appointment, doctor note, and, you know, getting clearance and a medical professional physician or whatever, and possibly some tests to make sure you're okay to spar or okay to fight, etc., etc. So this ban, usually the suspension, they'll have like a release date, but the fact that it says on Devin Haney indefinitely leads me to believe that he needs time off. And this is exactly what I said in this particular fight. And this fight was a sham. If you look at it from all different points of views in every regard, there was no true winner. For one, the fight was later changed to a no contest, no decision, which is the equivalent of the fight not even happening. So basically, everybody's time was wasted, including the fans, especially the fans, from this particular fight, because now it's not on Ryan's record and it's not on Devin Haney's record. So Devin Haney, in essence, had 32 bouts, but his record is 31-0. So it's almost as if he had 31 fights. The only downside with that is what I've been saying from the beginning is this is not Men in Black. What you think you saw, you did not see. Here come the Men in Black. There's no way to show people something and then take it away, even though that's technically what happened with the NC no contest, no decision, and then expect people to act and behave as if we didn't see what we seen. And I used this example before. Imagine if your manager, your store manager at your job, is married. He's a married man and then you're just minding your own business and you go into the back stock room and warehouse, and then in this secret like little small office that they have in the back warehouse, you see your store manager and some employee. So he's married, and you see them fornicating in the back and having relations in the back, and you just happen upon this. Like, so basically he's cheating on his wife, and he's cheating with the coworker that's much younger or something like that at your job. So there's no way to unsee that. You already seen it. You're not gonna, what are you gonna just go back to the warehouse, pick up whatever you were trying to get there, and then just act like you didn't see it? It's literally next to impossible. You're not gonna just forget something that stains your brain in that way. The same goes for Devin Haney. There were so many flaws, there were so many flukes, and who Devin Haney is supposed to be, calling him the next Mayweather in the dream. The dream was shattered. The dream was looking like a nightmare, a night terror, and that's the reality of it. So it's very unfortunate in the sport of boxing when things like this happen, because it puts a black eye on the sport of boxing. You have an event that basically, it's like the fight never happened. Ryan is going on, you know, he's suspended, but he's doing diss songs and kissing chicks and doing whatever on social media. Social media is not really reaming Ryan Garcia for it. And Devin Haney, he's been a little bit more low key, but you could tell he's been affected physically, mentally. There's some anguish there. And now both fighters are suspended. When is the last time, and my question to you is this, when is the last time that you could recall a fight where it ended so controversially, where months after the fight, people are still talking about it in a negative sense, and both fighters were suspended? So that's all I want to know. Normally, what happens is the person who gets punished and knocked out and stuff, that's the person that gets suspended. But I was just thinking about it, like I always do. I'm a deep thinker, ego thoughts. We have a situation where, for different reasons, as I mentioned earlier in this video, both of the main event, which happen to have names in the sport, they're both suspended for various reasons. And that makes boxing look pathetic. Like, you go to Devin's box rec, you see he's suspended. You go to Ryan Garcia, and I'm not talking about like a very temporary suspension, because that happens just because you just fought. So they'll put like a brief hold and temporary suspension, so you can't come back and fight in a week, right? But I'm talking about, this is months since the first fight, April 20th to be exact, all the way to, it's almost 4th of July. So we're talking about two and a half months since the fight, yet Devin Haney is still suspended. And of course, Ryan Garcia, for a much different reason, is suspended. This fight was pathetic, and I told you guys, this was a lose-lose situation for Devin Haney, and I'm gonna keep drilling that point home, because I was on the front line saying this stuff, and y'all was hating, saying, "Oh, Ego, you don't know, you're hating, oh, Devin's gonna destroy Ryan." Devin himself was saying he was gonna destroy Ryan. Well, none of that happened, right? And now you guys gotta live with the result. The other thing that I said, and I professed to anybody who would listen, is that this particular fight was premature. Ryan just last year was outclassed and destroyed by Gervonta Davis. That's why I never really liked the fight, the timing of the fight especially. Now, what would have been okay for me is if Ryan Garcia did what you're supposed to do when you get knocked off the ladder. You went to the shot to the top because you have the brand and the namesake, and you shot to the top, never been a champion, fought a guy like Gervonta Davis, got completely outmatched and outclassed, dropped and stopped, and quit in that particular fight. Cool. So what should have happened is, after that point, Ryan Garcia drops down the rankings, drops down the ladder, and works his way back up to the top. Devin was on a great little run. He had just beaten Regis Prograis, which to me is his most complete performance. I didn't say the best name because people would probably say Lomachenko is his best name. But the thing with the Lomachenko fight was, a lot of people thought Lomachenko beat Devin Haney. So in terms of complete performances, Devin's best performance, given who he was in there with, was his first fight at 140 and fighting Regis Prograis and convincingly winning and hurting the person at the higher weight class. So he went from that to less than 6 months later fighting Ryan Garcia, and now it's all up in smoke. So I just feel like this fight was a waste of everybody's time, and now you guys are seeing that. Ryan should have been climbing back up the ladder with the Duartes of the world and taking fights like that, get his bearings back, and then they could have done the Devin Haney fight. But I truly blame the Haneys a lot for this, because I believe they were chasing Gervonta Davis and they were trying to somehow surpass him or catch up to him, and they flew too close to the sun. The story of Icarus, right? Where you were so impatient that you end up making the wrong decision and getting in the ring with Ryan Garcia, who would later test positive, acted a complete fool. It didn't financially do no crazy numbers. So it literally, all talking points, the fight failed for all intents and purposes. It didn't do 1 million plus buys. It didn't have a crazy live gate. It didn't even beat many and most of Gervonta Davis's recent gates. And this was supposed to be a mega fight. So now you have two suspended fighters and not much to show for it other than drama and bickering online. And I think that's pretty sad, because both fighters are like 25 years old. You're supposed to be in the prime of your career. And now both fighters are picking up the pieces and suspended, but for different reasons. Told y'all didn't want to listen, but here we are. Ego thoughts.